Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? My goodness. Week is all screwed up because of the holiday. But yes, it's Wednesday. The Packers were on the practice field today, open to the media. Lots of tweets out there for people to parse through and overreact to, and quotes from the podium from Matt LaFleur, and we'll undoubtedly be getting quotes from the locker room throughout the afternoon. Always a good time. But of course, this morning, Matt Schneidman of The Athletic dropped his piece about Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Rodgers' side, essentially, about what happened regarding the lead up to and regarding his trade to the Jets. I'm not going to belabor it too much. I'm sure people will ask about it, but I did want to point out that Mark Murphy is the OG, man, and he is underappreciated. We had reporting from 2 years ago that one of Rodgers' demands in the summer of his discontent was that he wanted Brian Gutekunst fired, something he denied at the podium in his, quote, truth-telling press conference. But turns out, no, it was the true case of David Dunn calling Mark Murphy. Of course, that means Rodgers has plausible deniability, and he can say, well, I didn't do anything. Well, no, you didn't, but your agent did. Called Mark Murphy and said, okay, you're either going to fire Brian Gutekunst or you're going to trade Aaron Rodgers. And Mark Murphy said, I don't think so. I mean, Murphy's a real one. I wish he got more props. The fact that, he didn't cave to any kind of pressure in that regard, and rarely does in his position as president and CEO of the Green Bay Packers. His stewardship of the franchise has been a very, very good one. Exemplary, as I put it in the description of the video. And all I ever see is this man getting shit on online, usually from people who have no concept or idea of what it is he actually does or is supposed to do for the franchise. I mean, the amount of times that I see people on Twitter or Facebook or any other place online talking about how he didn't sign the free agents or he didn't make the trade or whatever. I mean, people literally have no idea what the man's job is, but they feel free to opine about how awful he is at doing it. It just kind of blows my mind. So for all the negativity out there about Mark Murphy, and now we've got another positive aspect to his tenure being the draft coming to the smallest market, not only in the NFL, but in professional American sports. Yet another way that this man is doing the Lord's work in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I just want to give a shout out to Mark Murphy because he rarely, if ever, gets one. And now I'm not saying he's flawless. I'm not saying he's been perfect. That is certainly not the case, and you don't have to go very far on the internet to find words from myself to that effect and things that I've groused about in the past, and certainly not a perfect person, not a perfect job. But the amount of shit this guy gets for doing the job extremely well just baffles me. Anyway, hope you're all doing well. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Before I get going, of course, I do want to give a shout out to our good friends over at Ticket King. People, if you want to go see the Green Bay Packers in their new era, led by Jordan Love, either in the preseason or in the regular season, either on some other field or in the friendly confines of Lambeau, you want to check out Ticket King. Go to cheeseheadtv.com. Head to the schedule. You will find individual links for each and every game. Straight to Ticket King. Get your tickets there, people. Not at Ticketmaster, not at StubHub. Support a local Wisconsin business. Been kicking it since 92. You can find them in Green Bay, literally down the street from Lambeau Field. They got a drive-through window if you just want to drive up and get your tickets. Do it, people. Ticket King. That's where it's at. Good to see everybody in the comments. Hope you're all doing well. All the OGs are here. So good to see everybody. What are we doing? Callum, how are you? Is Eric Stokes good to go this season? Still to be determined. I think at some point we'll see him out there. I still don't think he'll be ready for week one. I know Matt gave a positive note today at the podium, which would be lovely if you could see it on the Packers YouTube page. However, it starts after you already began. But we do have the erstwhile tweets from people in attendance that Stokes, hopefully by the end of the offseason program, will be participating in individual drills. Matt indicating that he doesn't think he'll be doing any 11 on 11 or team stuff prior to the end of the offseason work, but that is certainly a promising step, and it's certainly encouraging for his ability to get back out on the football field at some point this year. Now, again, I don't expect him to participate in camp. I don't expect him to be ready by week 1. I would probably expect him to be placed on the PUP to start the season, which is the first means he has to miss the first 4 weeks. Hopefully, after that, they'll start to be able to kind of work him into the mix practice-wise, and then maybe eventually hit the field halfway through the season. That's my guess sitting here right now. I obviously don't have any medical information, but that would be the guesswork trying to read between the lines there. Bill, thanks for the super chat, man. 12 got his timeline messed up. Move on, buddy. I don't know if he got his timeline messed up, but it is fun to watch, to kind of parse through that, article by Schneidman and see where he totally contradicts himself several times. And not only in the article, but with statements in the past. And by the way, since it's been brought up, and I'm sure it will be brought up again, major shout out to Matt Schneidman. That article was excellent in the sense that it really presented both sides of the narrative without taking a viewpoint, without having an opinion, but just laying it out there and letting the reader decide what to do with it. I messaged Matt this morning and told him I was so impressed by that article. It was excellently done. Really, really good work by Matt. And hey, major get. The fact that Rodgers talked to him at all is insane. It's so well done. Really well done by Schneidman. Luke, thanks for the super chat. Just saying hello and thank you for carrying the G. Luke, right back at you, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope the tent is up. What else we got here, folks? What else we got? I still say that Rodgers acts like Leon did in those old beard commercials. You're dating yourself there, buddy. But I feel you. Al Ryder, what's up, man? Go Pack Go. Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're well. Oh, too old for this. Not talking to someone you don't like is the definition of ghosting. Yeah, that whole thing was just funny. I mean, the fact that he doubled down on the FaceTime thing. Come on. What else we got here, folks? I've been out of town working the last couple weeks. Glad to be back with everyone for some Packers chat. What's up, Michael? Hope you're doing well. You wanted Goot fired and replaced by Red Batty. I don't know about that last part, but he did want Goody fired. No doubt about it. Andy Herman's tweets mentioned Musgrave quite a bit today. Yeah, I know that he was asked about him too. I think Matt was asked about Musgrave afterwards by Bill. Sure sounds like he showed out a little bit. I would only caution that it's shorts and T-shirts and no contact, and there's a long way to go. But, yeah, caught a bunch of balls, did a bunch of things. Good to see. Happy for the rookie. Doesn't mean much. Quinn, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, no Jair Alexander in OTAs? Quinn, there were no Jair Alexander in OTAs last year either. Go back and look. I got no problem with it. It's voluntary. He's not there for whatever reason. Doesn't need to be. Cool by me. He'll be there for minicamp. He was last year. Will be this year most likely, because that's when you start missing money. What else we got, folks? There's nothing like your first time at Lambeau. You got that right, man. Uncultured. Grassi is in Minneapolis today on his stadium tour. He does good work for charity. Yes, if you haven't in any capacity checked out his YouTube channel in general, you should do that. But 2, his fundraiser here throughout the month of June is absolutely amazing. 30 stadiums in 30 days, raising money for St. Jude. He's already off to an insane start. Unfortunate picture on Twitter this afternoon of Grassi in a Vikings jersey. I know that had to hurt him, but it is for a good cause. If you can give, if you can only just check out the videos, just do what you can to support Grassi. He's doing great, great stuff. George, will Mark Murphy ever appear on Cheesehead TV? No. I've asked. I can only make the ask. But no. No, I'm no Tom Grassi. What else we got here, folks? What else we got? William, LaFleur's offense highlights the tight end position, the kind of offense that turns fifth-round pick George Kittle and seventh-round pick Shannon Sharp into a Hall of Famers. Oh, whoa, whoa, okay, whoa, 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 whoa. All right. George Kittle, yes, a fifth-round pick, but an amazing worker, a guy who blocks his ass off, completely erases defensive ends at times. That wasn't the scheme. That was George Kittle. Yes, there are plenty of opportunities in the scheme. There's zero doubt about that. You talk about Shannon Sharp, another physical specimen. I remember hearing about Shannon when Sterling was still playing for the Packers, and people were like, yeah, Sterling's amazing, but wait till you see his brother. I mean, just because he's picked late doesn't mean he wasn't like an athlete and had the tools to work with. I mean, I'm not belittling anybody who's on the Packers or any of their draft picks or anything like that, but man, just because you're in the right scheme doesn't mean you're just going to automatically arrive and be a star. And I know that's not the kind of correlation that you're automatically making, but is the possibility there? Yeah, sure. But a large part of that is down to the player and doing the work. We have insane amounts of time before we even begin to understand what these guys are all about, how they might take advantage of the opportunities afforded them in the scheme, things of that nature. But just don't want anybody thinking like, oh, yeah, well, just throw those tight ends in there, and we're off to the races. It's never that easy. Al, thanks for the super chat. Carry the G at 1919 Grill this year, please. Thanks for being the voice of reason. Go Pack Go. Al, what? You got a little inside information there, buddy? I'm kidding. Maybe. We'll see. A lot of ball game left. I will say, I've mentioned it many times here, Carry the G will be vastly expanding its footprint in the state of Wisconsin throughout this football season. So be on the lookout. Will it be at 1919? Maybe. We'll see. Don Vito, thanks for the super chat. Admit it, you chuckled at Aaron's calf strain, LOL. I mean, no, I don't wish injury on anybody, but it is kind of funny that, Rodgers, they're making all this content around him, and he's arrived and everyone's happy and the Jets are about to win the Super Bowl, and then he's legit injured on the very first day they're at practice. I mean, yeah, I got to chuckle. I'll admit it. I mean, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be right as rain when camp comes along, and he'll tear it up. I have no doubt. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Justin, thanks for the super chat. Grassi can't even raise enough money for that poverty franchise. Well, he doesn't need to raise it for the Vikings. He needs to raise it for St. Jude. I want to say Vikings fans are people too, but it feels a bit much. Christopher, thanks for the super chat. Is it fair that this is the most excited I've been for a season maybe ever? Just so much potential on both sides of the ball. Go Pack Go. Christopher, I gather you are younger than myself, but yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. Most excited for a season maybe ever, though? That feels a bit much. I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but I just hope Packers fans are ready for some of the kind of ups and downs of this season. It is not going to be easy. It is not going to be I don't want to say it's not going to be fun, because I do think it will be fun, but there will be difficult stretches. There will be really tough moments. Now, there are going to be frustrating aspects to this year. Of that, there is zero doubt. Put it on the board. Dan, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags. It's going to be fun to see Bill and the Patriots this preseason. Thoughts? Yeah, I do like the joint practice idea. I've been all aboard that. I will say the Pats have been known to mix it up at these off-season joint practices, these training camp practices. I think they had a damn near brawl when they were down in Philly. Bill just got docked a couple practices because, they're holding guys too long, etc. He don't care. He's going to push these guys, and if, they get into a competitive situation, I'm sure the Pats will be ready to go, maybe to the echo of the whistle. Packers better be ready for it. I do think it's a good thing for a young team trying to find its way, get a little tough love, hopefully, there in the joint practice sessions leading up to the preseason game. I'm down with that. I'm getting thirsty. I hear you, Al. I hear you. Uh, Soder, all I ever get is a definite maybe. Definitely maybe, man. Joey, if you and Corey had signature dishes at 1919 like they had at Curly's Pub, what would your dish entail of? All I know is it would have, what is Corey like? What's that shit called? He had this garlic jam, I think it was, that was, to be fair, fucking amazing. Um, like we'd have a brat with that on it, probably, would be my guess. John, in your opinion, is Darnell Savage ready to be the leader in the safety group? If not Savage, then who? I think he's ready. I think he knows it's put up or shut up time. It's hard to be a leader if you're not on the field, though. And I know he's been installed as the guy right out of the gate, but that doesn't mean that he's going to keep it. Got to win that job first. Um, if not him, that's a good question. Probably, I would put my money on Jonathan Owens, actually. You talk about an ascending player ready to take that next step and become a full-time, regular, year-to-year starter. That's where Owens is headed. I fully expect him to win that job opposite Darnell. That's my guess sitting here the day before June begins. Joe, thanks for the super chat. Glad Vontez perfect isn't still with the Bengals. Yeah, and so do every single Packers player. Portmaster, to you, does the phone call asking Murphy for Goody to be fired feel like Kendall yelling, I am the eldest boy, or is it just me? That's really good. I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't watch Succession, but that's an outstanding pull. That's really good. Rick, what's up, man? Should have watched Chiefs practices with Marty at the helm in River Falls. Makes today's practices feel like walkthroughs. Oh, so many of the practices today are like walkthroughs. Are you kidding me? Yeah, those old River Falls, man. Good shout out. All the in the Platteville with the Bears and the little kind of mini league they had up there, Western Wisconsin, when back in the day, lots of teams would come up. People probably forget, but lots of teams used to come up. Like they were like 8 or 9 teams that would come up to Wisconsin and have their training camps there, or a portion of them. The Bears went to Platteville, Chiefs went to River Falls, or a couple of others. Even when I think the Jaguars came up one year. But yeah, man, those practices were brutal. I had a buddy who was doing some counseling work in that area, and I went and visited him one summer and went to one of those practices. Shit is no joke, man. I mean, football back then in general was no joke, but yeah, it I remember when I think it was Mike McCarthy first started having like water breaks and nutrition breaks, and Bob McGinn wrote like something like it was like a what do you call it? Something like a country club atmosphere. Oh, that burned some chaps there at 1265 Lombardi. That was a good time. Good stuff, and it's only gotten lighter. Carrie Bishop. I'm glad you asked this question, Carrie. Hey, Nags, what do you think of Love's outing today? I don't think a damn thing because it's May 31st. It's practice in shorts and T-shirts. I don't care how many balls he completed. I don't care where they're placed. I don't care what kind of routes they were running. I don't care how many touchdowns he threw. I don't care. It means absolutely nothing to us and for us on the outside. For the guys involved, for his teammates, for his coaches, evaluating his kind of growth and what he needs to work on, etc. Very important. For us on the outside, it means less than nothing. What he's going to be able to do when he steps on the football field in September, that first game against Chicago, what he did today, May 31st, means absolutely nothing to us. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. People get excited. It's football. You get your favorite team out there, and you want every morsel of information. I totally understand that. Godspeed. Have fun with it. Ultimately, in the grand scheme of everything, it means nothing to us. So I don't think about it. I don't care. That's where I'm at. It's probably because I'm about to turn 50 and I'm struggling with my mortality and I'm thinking, man, what does anything having to do with life mean about anything? So that's the lens I'm looking at all this through. And, as a Packers fan who I just absolutely live and breathe and die and rise and fall with the Green Bay Packers, every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever they play, I am living and breathing that stuff. I live for it. I love it. But man, what a quarterback does in shorts and T-shirts on May 31st means less than nothing to me. It's just the truth of it, man. You probably weren't expecting that, were you? Sorry. I'm having a day. Too old for this. Rodgers threw loads of interceptions in training camp. They make throws in practice they will never make in a game. I mean, yes and no. I mean, Rodgers did some of that on purpose, quote unquote, trying to test things and see how guys react in certain situations, how a guy would react if he threw to him in coverage, blah, blah, blah. But Aaron had earned that, right? Aaron had gotten to a point where he knew he could do that. Like, Jordan's still a very young quarterback, and Jordan's still learning. And I'm not saying he's not doing some of that. He might be. I have no idea. But, remember that Aaron, I remember 4 or 5 summers ago, he started out with a ton of interceptions in camp, and people online were freaking out, and we talked to him at his locker, and he was like, yeah, I'm just, trying to see with how a guy will react to this. If this safety comes over and I throw it up to him, is he going to adjust the way I want him to, or the way I expect him to, and things like that. Yes, he makes those throws that he would never attempt in, a game on the line type situation. But yeah, Jordan, it's probably a little different. He's still developing, still learning, still trying to figure stuff out. Porkmaster, we went deep into the darkness there, man. Sometimes it's just the way it is. Nagler just took us through a darkness retreat, something like that. Nags, I'm about to turn 70, and I don't care either. The only games that matter start on week 1. Anthony, you know what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying. And look, I don't mean to belittle anyone's passion, right? I get it. We rise and we fall by the Green Bay Packers in our lives, right? I totally understand that. And I totally get people who get excited by OTA tweets, right? It's just not for me. It's just not my thing. Godspeed, each and every one of you. All right, buddy, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out and talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack, go.